Okay, hello guys. My name is Kamahelo, and today I'm about to present to you the political debate, one of the 5-hour projects. Today we get to talk about student black communities problems that are still affecting 10,000 students around African universities. So today I'm joined by the ANCYL representative, which is Nino Makola, a third-year student, and the PASMA representative. So I'm gonna Mwafrika. So I'm gonna ask you guys to introduce yourself so that people know who you are.
I'm Africa Bafo, the representative of PASMA in this current moment.
Alright, my name is Nino Makola and I am the representative of the ANC Youth League. Thank you.
So the political debate is a discussion based on student parties within the university environment that have power to the masses. So we're going to start with a couple of questions. So do you think your political parties have an impact on black separation with the student black communities?
Who's going to go first? Should I go first?
It's fine. I'll consider taking it. Easily it. Africa, I'll say, since you know we are in this People's University as the youth of the outside communities, coming here, regardless of tribalism of some sort, the only thing that I can elaborate further to is not participating or not being in the ground visibly enough to students. It shows that there is separation of some sort that's happening, because we are in our own environment of living. When we're inside this campus, we're in a territory. That's why I was saying, see, I have fun studying when we're around this particular premises of the People's University. So I think not being visible in the ground, it plays a lot of roles in killing the student activism around the ground of TUT. I'll thank you from there.
All right. Can I also have the question again?
The question is that do you think your political party has an impact on black separation with the student black communities?
Well, I think it's actually far from fresh, because as you can critically check from the university environment, a lot of us are exposed with a lot of differences because we come from different backgrounds, of which when we step into the university environment, we find that still at the university environment, we're still fighting division. We still have diversity. And of that, we're actually spoiled for choices when it comes to choosing political parties. And when you enter into certain political parties, you find that those certain political parties do not, should I say, they don't like what other political parties do, which in that manner, it creates a barrier of hate. Now, you find that a comrade of ANC or Youth League cannot work with the EFF due to what's actually happening within the culture of ANC. And then you find that from the EFF side, you find that there are certain leadership forms that wouldn't form part with the ANC. As you can find that with all of these student political parties that are there in the university institution, you find that we are all fighting for one common thing, which is freeing a large number of black students, right? But as we are much divided, it puts us in a position to know that we are still fighting, but we are not fighting together. So I would say that political parties do play a huge role in separating student black communities, because we get a whole lot of feedback from what's going on and what should have been done. And still today we have political parties fighting for leadership within the institution. So to answer that question, I'm saying yes, they do.
With that being said, I'd like to move on to the second question.
All right.
So what strategies do student or political parties have to carve out these student challenges faced within and outside of the student environment? So just to repeat the question, what strategies do student or political parties have to carve the student challenges faced within and outside of the student environment?
Let me be the first also. I think I'll be speaking upon the grounds of the People's University under the hand of Prof. Lawrence van Staden. In the university, comrades, let them not try to deviate from the actual program of this particular gathering of the night or midday. There's CPS in the university, of which its campus protection service, permanently employed in the university, of which it's supposed to protect all stakeholders, of which the first respondent of our stakeholders is the deployed President General of the university, that's deployed by the so-called ANC that we are sitting with. I don't know whether it's going to be properly to answer these questions of how are we going to be able. Let me speak for my own students on the ground. Security is provided, while the CPS, who is even superior than the security protection to students, there is MI7 in the university. If ever students were still marked outside of the university, since we know we have accredited residencies, it's an issue to us that thing. Students shall always be protected, because without them here, the university cannot operate. So I will elaborate by saying issues shall be raised, and since we deploy SRCs, must make sure they monitor and make sure they evaluate such problems that they arise on the ground from students, and then CPS should make sure before such an issue shall be taken to judiciary of the university, it shall be managed at the Office of Campus Protection Service. With those words, I'll say Mhlaba Zwelithini.
All right. On that certain question, I would like to say I would actually speak on behalf of actually all political parties, because I believe we are fighting for one common thing, which is the struggle of student black communities. So right now, I actually believe that it is very important for political parties to come up with solutions that could dilute what's actually happening within the youth of the university, because we are actually faced with a whole lot of challenges. Some of them we don't want to even mention them, because we are now at a stage whereby we want to excel what is called as action. So the first strategies that should be implemented is that students should be curved in being educated to be employees. Students should be protected within the university environment in such a fact that they are given successful information. I'm talking about information that will lead the students when they go out of the university environment to seek for better opportunities out of the university environment. That alone makes a university an independent organization that enriches the lives of independent people to go out there and act independently. Now, when you're a student and you're in a university environment and you want to act independently out there, you still find that you are more dependent, because what you have, which the university gave you, it makes you to be dependent on other organizations outside. It doesn't control you, it doesn't move you to accelerate and try to do your own. So into that fact, I would really criticize this most fact, even among the ANC Youth League leadership, to say that education and independence is far two different things. I'll actually elaborate that, because when we're actually talking about education, we are talking about the education that is currently now, and when we are talking about information, we are talking about information that will supersede education, which means I'm talking about information that will lead you to employ others and give them information in exchange of them employing others to give them information, not education that makes you seek to be independent onto others most of the time, because all the time we are being taught to beg, to continue and beg, and all of that creates a minority in a black person's mindset. So these are the multi-solutions that I think they're vital within the political parties to actually enhance and make sure that such strategies are actually mended.
Thank you very much, So with that being said, Mr. Makola, in order to emphasize that, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you believe this current educational system was made to better the lives of black students, or is it otherwise?
I think the educational system of today is based on bettering the lives of the people that have the power power of organization. When I mean the power of organization, I mean it's bettering the people that have an idea. The people that have an idea will somehow have strategies to pull people that don't have ideas, that would rather follow what those people have the ideas upon them. So I would say the educational system of today is definitely deviating from what the educational system is supposed to do. It's actually doing something out of this world, and it's creating a hell of a mess, because you're actually taking out angry people outside. And what do angry people do when they're outside? We are the ones that do crime, GPV, all of these things. If you can critically check, it actually comes from people that have these so-called qualifications when you critically research. And what we were promised is that when we have that, we'll never fall onto that life. You understand what I'm saying? Now that we have that, we understand that we still have that slight opportunity to fall into that life. So I would say the education of today is definitely deviating. It's not doing what the real education is supposed to be doing, which is educating people to be independent. What it's doing is educating people to be dependent. And that has been going on for years. Even our legendary revolutionist, which is Tertiary, he actually said it himself back in the days about what's actually happening in the educational system of back in the days. What he said is actually relevant today. So I would actually say that it hasn't changed, and what our brothers fought for is what we are still fighting for today. Yeah.
Can you please elaborate on that? If you don't mind me asking the question again, do you believe?
I think I've covered it.
All right.
Prof. Robert Mangaliso Sobukwe, he once stated a quote saying, education means service to Africa. He was not meaning it the way around, if I'm reading this thing accurately. So when he was saying education means saving, actually this education system that we are actually feed with shall be education that will make Africans grow educationally. So this education system that we are actually currently facing in this Azanian land shall be decolonized, because it's actually an education that's treating us how to become better slaves. I don't know when Africa state with this education was meant to promote us where, because currently we are facing a highly percentage of unemployment in the country, of which I don't know what will be the figure, because it's millions when I look at it accurately. So myself in my mind, it's starting to deal with these issues of stats in my own mind. The unemployment rate in the country has actually escalated to 60 point something percent as we speak now in this gathering. So where is this particular education system that we are actually currently facing taking us? We will find ourselves reaching a later age where we are going to end up being out of our youth stage. Still we are unemployed, where we face situations of having people who are doing entrepreneurship as people who are supposed to come up with innovation to change to us, but at the end of the day they lack capital of innovating such skills that they are having, getting them from the very same education system that we are speaking about here. So I'm not going to say this education system is treating us to be good Africans as the way Prof. Sobukwe once stated it. This education is only treating us how to become better slaves, because we are still facing a blinder here of how are we going to end up developing our own country with this particular education system, since our land doesn't belong to us. It's a problem. Hey, because of the very same education system that we are fed with. So I will actually put my last words of saying I'm not agreeing to say this education system it's good for us. It's actually not good for us. It shall be decolonized. We are given a proper education system that's going to make sure Africans are liberated, Africans grow, Africans are able to build their own businesses. I'm not saying today they don't have They don't have them because some of the businesses, they don't belong to them. They share with them. They share with certain individuals, of which most of them, they are holding high percentage of shareholders in the same particular businesses that we are speaking about. So people are fronting with certain individuals here to make sure their business shall be successful. We know all those things. So I will say this education system shall be decolonized. It was not meant for us. The people who created this education system, they were making it for us to become better slaves to them. It's not the way around to us. We see it. It's really it. It's really it.
Is with it. So, what I understand about the word education is derived from the Latin word eduras or educas, something like that. So, what that means is that education was actually meant to develop and better your skills in whatever that you're doing. So, say for example, maybe your father or someone in your family owns an events company, and it leads you to, as the offspring of that father or uncle or whatever, you become a better and skilled laborer for the events sector and everything, right? So you're better and develop your skill. So with that being said, do you think these universities are creating a generation of employees or rather employers in the black community?
That is a very important question there, Command. I believe they are definitely creating a generation of employees. I mean, I've never sought the day to see a student wish to be something more than just being an employee to somebody else. And the only picture they only have of an employer, somebody who's going to employ them, is a white person. Not to say it's wrong, but what I'm saying is that we have never seen leadership in ourselves. And for us not to be taught leadership in ourselves, and for us to be denied the line to be taught our religion and our culture and where we come from and who to actually believe in and who to follow and who to lead and who to follow, I'm gonna keep on saying that because it's very actually important. Now, what the university is doing, I'm not talking about one institution, I'm talking about all the African institutions that are responsible in educating the black student community. They are educating masses to be employees of other employers that are superior than them, and which makes them to continuously live that poor life, and to only find out that black people are the ones that are popular in having ghettos. You understand what I'm saying? Ghettos are actually for us. Ghetto is like a little bit of a heaven for us, whereby we have everything that is there and it's very poor, but we get to make something good out of it. Now, when we ask for a chance to have a better environment, they give us education. When they're giving us education, they're giving us education to feed our children the very same education they gave to us. So continuously, it breeds us as black people to never ever to the point that we have our own education, because I believe we don't have our own education that is capable of making us build our own institution. So to that fact, I would say consistently universities are continuously building a large number of employees. You have seen it even from our greatest leader who fought for fees must fall, Cabo Dlamini, as well. He's still and he's also employed as well, so you can actually check that what we fought for is employment. We never fought for independence, we fought for employment, and we'll continuously cry to those superior people and say, give us something better, we don't deserve this. And at the end of the day, we're still gonna be employees.
I've already answered actually this question, because I've said this education system was never actually created to be the way around. This education system was created to make us better what? Slaves. I've stated it. It's not the education system what was supposed to be given to us, because we are given this education system to go and knock on other people's doors and look for employment. That's why when you are hired by government, or you are going to be happy as an individual, since you are hired by the government of the country. You are looking at only one thing: benefits of saying you are going to be able to take care of your siblings and so on and so on. It's not about that. My actual interest was never to come to university to end up depending upon a certain individual, and worse, a colonialist of some sort. that was never ever my interest. I don't want to lie, comrades. Maybe I'm not going to point at you, but I'm speaking with you. Maybe yourselves, not me. When I told myself that I'm going to university to be educated so that I'll have a direction of where are my dreams taking me, or what are actual goals that might get me on my own actual future dreams. I understand. Because even tomorrow, it's future because we are not yet there. So it was never my interest to say one of the good days I must take this qualification and knock there. No, the only thing that's lacking out there is capital. Everyone must have that money to start up something, you see, which means whether you want it or not, you must have something to start up. I understand. If ever all of us we had money, we wouldn't be here, because you should have started what you actually dreamed of long time ago. You were only going to lack there and there because of skills. So coming to university to acquire what? Skills that you are going to utilize in the future. So it's not the way around. We are fighting for fees must fall. You were lying when you say fees must fall as a program of it's a program of past marathon. Yes, I'm not going to concentrate too much on that. We are not dwelling there. Another thing is, if we were given opportunity enough, I think, as I've seen all of you, I've been with all of you in the People's University, I think we could have pursued a lot of things. Because of what? Once you start to do something, people get amused about what you are doing good. They come across, they visit, they see. One of the good days is that particular cadre will come across you and provide good ideas upon what you are doing, of which, if you had money of doing something, of starting something, I'm talking about capital, I understand, you should have done something. White people have money, you cannot compare them with us. And the West, we are a majority, they are a minority. And the West, then, they have the resources of the country. We don't have anything. So that's how they are managing. And I'm not going to speak too much, comrades, but it's painful to us. Thank you very much. It's really it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. As we've seen in almost every sector, especially concerning South Africa, politics have a significant impact on everything, whether be it the corporate world or entertainment as such. So do you think politics are important to students or less important, according to your views?
I think necessarily politics are important for black students, because I actually believe that that's where we find utmost everything about our culture, where we come from, who died and who died for what, and what he was fighting for, and what he was fighting for, is it still relevant? I believe we have a whole lot of black culture circled around politics, because from what I feed and from what I hear is that most of our black history is derived from politics. We have our leadership, we have our representatives, we have people that are from the politics that have earned the right to fight for the black people, and those people have the full information about the importance of black people, because they were fighting for the importance of black people and for the importance of black people to be noticed. So for the youth to stay away from politics, because I believe the youth has a different image of politics. They think politics is and then you fail a course, and then you repeat again, you chow money, you loot. That's like a whole new delusion of what politics is. And from the youth, sometimes it makes them scared to participate in such, because they have that fear that I'll be killed, I'll be shot, I'll be expelled. Because remember that once you're in politics, especially in the university environment, you are actually on a thin line with Van Staden. It means that whatever that you do will actually affect what our superior is doing within our university, talking about psychologically, because you'll actually hear a whole lot of truth about what's happening about us. So I believe that politics are far more important, and the youth has to get a different image of what politics are, and for them to understand that is that politics are influence, as the influence of the masses to pursue the struggle, which means politics is a group of black people that are influencing a change for better, a change for Ubuntu, a change for better communities, a change for better education, better services, better hospitality. But all of that is not described in the students' mindset. They just have this whole different mindset, yeah, politique, that I already mentioned. But like I said, politics is a group of people that are fighting for one common thing, which is the struggle and the recognition of black people. Because politics comes from black people. Come on, we are the ones who started this thing. It's nobody else. Because we've been fighting all our lives. Even now, we're still fighting what our forefathers tried to fight, and they still conquered, but they couldn't finish it. That's why you have people like our leader here from Basma. I believe he didn't just choose this. It's a calling, and for him to open the door and say, I hear you, my brothers. I hear what you guys died for. I hear what you guys cried for. I'm here to pursue that differently. I'm not gonna do it the way you did it, but I promise that whatever that you give to me in my mind, and whatever you show me that how did my black brothers and our mothers died for the very same struggle, is what I'll try to pursue and try to give a recognition to the masses, to say, guys, we are still fighting for the struggle still today. So yeah.
Yes, noble son. I'm not going to speak too much. I will only stay to it. It's not gonna be like students invite politics within the premises of the People's University. Politics are derived from social issues or social ethical issues that will actually or eventually transpire when they are engaging, and then from there on, or concerns that will transpire on the ground, you understand, and then from there on they will start revolting upon the issue that actually transpired. You see, when a group of people speak about this shower that has been being renovated for 3 months now, and they are still not finalizing renovating it, it's a concern to those people who are staying to that house, because they are having a problem each and every day of where to shower. They must jump to building 4, building 5, you see, to go bath while you are running out of time for class. You see, that's a certain issue, you see. So politics, they don't invite them, they avail themselves, and then people start politicizing upon that particular issue that transpired on the ground. Yes, I'm not going to speak too much. It's like that. It's the nature, actually. It's really it. It's really
Thank you very much.
With that being said, thank you guys for availing yourselves.
Thank you very much, Pastor.
I think we're gonna come to the end of the show.
Yeah, Mr. Lokali.
We got the crew, we got X behind the camera, we got Nino Makola, we got Africa.
It's really it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
You can never beat me. You can never blame me. You can never beat me. You can never blame me. You can never beat me. You can never blame me. You can never beat me. You can never blame me. You can never beat me. Ever since I was a young boy, mama told me I would be something. Mama told me I would be something, and still today I'm gunning for something. Gunning for something. You can never blame me. 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 I'm a black human being, I'm a black human being, black human being, black human being. We were born to survive. Black human being, black human being, black human being. I don't know why this song keeps on cutting in my head. Human being, human being, human being. I'm a black human being, black human being. Come here. Tell them. The black human